Well, Crack, also thanks to you last week, I got a lot of great feedback from these tips. You gave out these 3 tips, and people were asking me for more tips about, betting and college football, specifically, I guess, with college football. And so today, I want you to talk about home field advantage.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's say about those last week. One of those tips is really my favorite tip is that when you have 200 when you have like 200 different games going on, it's so hard for the bookmaker to get those lines right on everything. So literally you have, any given, when there's a cross sports like we have during college football, college basketball Saturdays, you got to make 200 lines. They can't get every line right. So that's one of my favorite things that I talked about last week. This week, I actually wanted to talk about the home field advantage. Yeah, last year, a lot of these places didn't have, the bookmakers just didn't know, how loud they were going to be, the stadiums, and how packed they were going to be with only, so much home field advantage. Now, unlike, people don't realize this. If I had to pick any sport, it would be college basketball and college football where the home field advantage really means something. Compared to baseball, it means hardly anything. In the NFL, it means something too, but other sports means more than others. I think the home field advantage in college football means a lot, and just keep your eye on the line because a lot of that's baked in sometimes, but sometimes it's not. So that's one good tip for this week, the home field advantage.
Okay, and then the next one is kind of funny. I didn't tell you this, but so I got multiple calls. I don't really love college football. I don't really follow it. I do more now because of you. But I got multiple calls last week from people that bet on sports, friends of mine, and they all said, I've got a lock. I've got a can't lose. Take Hawaii and the points. But because a guy named Bill Krackomberger didn't call me and say take Hawaii and the points, I stayed away.
Well, luckily. I didn't have UCLA. I didn't have the other side either. I just didn't bet the game. But I'll tell you, speaking of that now that I'm thinking about that team, UCLA might be one of the sleepers this year. They may be a lot better than people think. They may give this weekend. I think they're playing Clemson. They may give Clemson a hard time this weekend. So we'll see. But going into that though, listen, I know Hawaii's bad. We all know that. There was a lot of people on Twitter that came out after talking about the Hawaii game and how bad they were. Oh, okay. I understand they're bad, but the bookmakers know that too. That's why you're getting so many points betting against them. So they'll make it to a point where it's a level playing field after this first game, probably, and you'd be surprised by what these spreads will be. Hawaii is usually the last game on TV, so people want to look to bail out somewhere on that type of game. That's why I say just you don't have to bet these games because they're on TV, guys. You need action at midnight. I mean, Jesus, crime and Eddie. So anyway, that's my opinion on Hawaii.
And what about lastly? It says key numbers not as strong. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, the key numbers are not as strong in college football as they are in the NFL on the 3 and 7. Matter of fact, it's the opposite. The 3 is the keyest number in the NFL. NFL is the 3. In college, it's the 7. The 7 is the most important number. So, but then again, you want to make sure, of course, do your line shopping. That's what this is about. Do your line shopping, especially around the 7. You're better off laying, 6.5, obviously, than 7. You're better off taking 7.5 than 7. So do your line shopping, especially if you're taking the dogs. There's so much square influence in this market right now. There's so many squares, so much dead money in the game. As they say in poker, dead money. Well, there's a lot of dead money in our sport too, because people are just gambling on things they don't even know about just to have action. Yeah. Therefore, the bookmaker's forced to overmove the lines. You can get those extra hooks, those extra half points. We call them hooks in the industry, against a lot of teams. So make sure if you're betting it, do your searching around the 7. It's nice to get the 7.5, and I'm sure you'll find it because a lot of these sports books are forced to overmove to get some two-way action. So.